Everyone, Jeff here, and today we're going to continue talking about what we can do to reduce blood pressure and lower your risk for cardiovascular disease. Now, what I would tell you is if you would have asked me 5 years ago about Jeff detoxing, I would have told you, you are crazy, right? Didn't really give it a whole lot of thought and didn't think there was a whole lot of benefit. But speed up 5 years later, after doing a lot of reading and a lot of research, what I'm going to tell you is if you don't detox, you are doing your health a disservice because we come in contact with so many things that can cause so many problems that you want to detox. Now, one thing I didn't know at the time, and we'll talk more about different ways to detox, but if you exercise and you sweat a lot, like I do, all right, then that is a natural detox, all right. And later on, I'll give you basically a study I want you to read about, and it basically shows how several people's lives were changed just by sweating out toxins and getting their health back, right? People used to ask me a long time ago about saunas, right? And I would say saunas are a waste of time. Well, guess what? Changed my mind, right? Sauna is probably one of the better things you can do to help detox, right? So today we're just gonna touch the surface, all right? And as we go through this over the next several days, we're gonna talk about different things that you can take, and when I say that is basically different types of foods or other things you can take to detox, and we'll talk about the sweating as well. Now, reducing blood pressure through detox, one of the things that I have learned is that heavy metals play a huge role in our health, and if you don't do something to get rid of them and lower them, then you are setting yourself up for chronic disease. With that said, all right, you want to remove as much lead, mercury, arsenic, and other unhealthy toxins from the body, all right? If you don't, like I said, it sets you up long term for chronic disease. Even the NIH, all right, National Institute of Health, basically states that too much lead, all right, and most Americans, well, most people in general have too much lead already in their body, all right? And this is a factor in hypertension, right? If you look at the study on this, even low levels of lead can lead to hypertension. There's even some that basically point to the fact that lead can lead to heart disease. Now, they say that's inconclusive, so you can't say that that is for sure, but they say for sure it's a factor in hypertension. All right. Now, with that said, how do you detox? All right. The answer is a thing called chelation, and I'll be honest with you. I did a lot of reading, did a lot of just searching before I even mentioned the word chelation, because in the medical side of the house, chelation can sometimes have a bad taste that goes with it. I, on the other hand, because I'm not per se a medical provider, I think chelation is one of the secrets to long-term health, especially in preventing aging or basically slowing down the aging process. All right. So what is chelation? All right. Just to get you started, and like I said, we're going to talk about how you chelate later, but what is chelation? It is basically a substance you introduce to the body that binds with metals and removes them from the body, all right? Now, most of us remove through urine, all right? So, once again, if you decide you're going to do this, especially with certain things we're going to talk about, you want to make sure your kidneys are working properly, all right? If you have any kind of kidney disease, you definitely need to speak with your doctor before you start doing any of this, all right? because all of that that you're getting rid of has to basically flow through the kidneys. You want to make sure you're good. There's also a few things, if you're on specific medications, which we'll talk about later, you're going to want to talk to your doctor about it. All right. Now, with that said, all right, like I said, we're going to talk about basically some chelators which you actually get every day anyway, or hopefully you do in your diet. But for the most part, like I said, there are some things you can do that basically is going to help you get back to what we call homeostasis, or get rid of the heavy metals in your body, and it's not a big deal, right? Some of the others we talk about, because of the what's the term I want to use? Because of some of the medical references with those things, we're going to talk about those a little more in depth, all right? But like I said, if you don't detox, that's your first homework, right? Start reading about how to detox the body, and then, like I said, I'm going to show you some ways that you can chelate, simple, easy, and help restore your health, all right? So hopefully you'll be back for the next session. These are going to be really good, all right? Really, really good. And for some folks, going to be life-changing.